Did you know that Yoona has always been the main face in everything she did? From her debut with Girls' Generation to her career as an actress, she was always at the center, receiving the biggest opportunities while her colleagues remained in the shadows. But was this just talent, or is there a darker side to this favoritism? Today, we're going to reveal why Yoona was always the executive's favorite, and the price that came with it. When Girls' Generation debuted in 2007, the group arrived with the promise of becoming the new sensation of K-pop. 8 talented girls, each with her own charm, voice, and charisma. But it only took a few weeks for the public to realize who would be the chosen one, Yoona. From the start, it was her face on advertisements, her smile lighting up commercials, and her image representing the group in interviews and variety shows. While other members fought for mere seconds of stage time, Yoona was already in front of the cameras, landing endorsement deals that seemed tailor-made for her. This favoritism wasn't just a fan impression. SM Entertainment, the company managing the group, constantly placed Yoona at the center of choreographies, gave her lines in key parts of songs, and above all, heavily invested in her media exposure. In a country where image counts as much as talent, the company realized that Yoona's innocent beauty fit perfectly into the role of the nation's first love. So, while girls like Taeyeon were praised for their powerful vocals and Hyoyeon for her dancing skills, it was Yoona who was on billboards, opening TV shows, and becoming the face of Girls' Generation. Korean internet forums at the time pointed out that other members had just as much, if not more, artistic potential, but were left aside. For every compliment directed at Yoona, there was criticism claiming she was just pretty, without Seohyun's vocal strength or Taeyeon's leadership. Yet the marketing strategy worked. Yoona quickly established herself as the face of the group, not only in South Korea but across Asia, and every appearance she made brought in more contracts, more attention, and more profit. The contrast was clear. While her colleagues fought to gain individual recognition, Yoona was already starring in commercials for major brands, cosmetics, and electronics, even during the group's peak. This excessive spotlight sparked resentment in part of the public, who accused SM of having a favorite and using the other members as background support. At the same time, there was a curious effect. Many new fans discovered Yoona first, only later realizing there was an entire group behind her. Inside Girls' Generation, this created a dangerous narrative. On one hand, Yoona opened doors, bringing fame and contracts, but on the other, she intensified comparisons and divisions. Fans were split between defending the individual talent of other members, or justifying Yoona's position as the result of her discipline and the trust the company placed in her. The favoritism was undeniable, and if there was something SM Entertainment did well, it was crafting flawless images for its artists. With Yoona, this strategy reached another level. From the beginning, she was molded not only as the most visible member of the group, but as a true national product, untouchable and unreachable. The company realized early on that her delicate beauty, combined with the shy and polite demeanor she always displayed, could turn her into a brand capable of winning over not just K-pop fans, but also the more conservative Korean audience, which often looked at idols with suspicion. Yoona was promoted as Korea's ideal girl, a figure of purity and innocence that seemed impossible to criticize. In cosmetic ads, she appeared as the fresh, natural face. In electronics campaigns, she represented modern youth, and on variety shows, her personality was carefully presented as fun, but never controversial. While other Girls' Generation members took risks, showing different sides of themselves, Yoona stayed within the mold the company had designed. Elegant, friendly, and absolutely scandal-free, almost robotic. This required extreme discipline and, above all, constant vigilance. Nothing in her career seemed to happen by chance. Every drama role, every variety show appearance, every endorsement deal followed one narrative that Yoona was too perfect to be real. But behind the shine, there was a darker side. Many industry critics pointed out that this obsession with keeping Yoona as the ideal face suffocated her authenticity. For years, she was accused of being robotic or boring, as if she were just a pretty mannequin placed in front of cameras. Her very lack of scandals, which seemed like her greatest strength, also turned into ammunition for detractors. After all, no one is truly that perfect. This contrast fueled rumors that Yoona was nothing more than an invention of her company, a puppet carefully positioned in the spotlight with no real personality. On top of that, favoritism in her promotion intensified the criticism. While other idol actresses had to audition or start with supporting roles, Yoona was already receiving lead roles in high-budget productions. Many saw this as proof that SM was determined to push her to success, no matter the cost. This carefully constructed image became both her greatest strength and her greatest prison. The public saw in Yoona the perfect girl, but that perfection, in practice, was a mask created by SM's executives. And the more untouchable her image became, the greater the gap between the real Yoona and the celebrity Yoona. And if in K-pop Yoona was already SM's favorite face, in the acting world the story was no different. Her transition from idol to actress happened early and on a grand scale, something few of her generation achieved. While many idols had to fight for small roles or appear in minor productions to prove their worth, Yoona was already debuting as a lead in high-investment dramas. This didn't go unnoticed by the public, who constantly questioned whether she truly had the talent or if it was all the result of her agency's push. In 2008, just a year after debuting with Girls' Generation, Yoona was already the star of the drama You Are My Destiny. The success was immediate. The series achieved high ratings and cemented her name as an actress. But along with fame came criticism. Many viewers pointed out that her acting was still limited, based more on her beauty and natural charm than on depth. Even so, while fellow idols fought for any chance, Yoona was already seen as the new TV promise. In the following years, the pattern continued. Productions like Love Reign and The Prime Minister and I gave her leading roles in romantic and melodramatic scripts, always highlighting her image as the perfect girlfriend or the innocent heroine. TV critics claimed that SM was determined to put her on top, even if her performance didn't yet justify such protagonism. And indeed, many times her acting was considered too safe, never daring to take on more challenging roles. The turning point came when Yoona decided to broaden her range and accept bolder projects. The K2 in 2016 gave her a role that required action scenes and more emotional intensity. Even then, many believed the true weight of the production fell on Ji Chang-wook's shoulders, with Yoona serving more as a complement to the male lead. But over time, her growth became clearer. Exit and Confidential Assignment, both box office hits in Korean cinema, showed a more mature Yoona, gradually earning her greater respect. Despite this growth, the shadow of favoritism never fully disappeared. To this day, some say that without SM, Yoona might never have begun her acting career so advantageously. Others, however, argue that she took advantage of the opportunities like few others could, working hard to turn privilege into genuine recognition. What no one can deny is that while many idol actresses remained stuck in small roles or faded away, Yoona managed to become a constant name on screens, whether in TV dramas or major box office films. The truth is that being the favorite brings glamour, million-dollar contracts, and visibility that few artists ever reach. But the other side of that coin is far heavier than the public imagines. In Yoona's case, favoritism from the industry and from SM Entertainment wasn't just a springboard, but also an invisible prison she still carries today. After all, when someone is placed on such a high pedestal, any slip, no matter how small, can be seen as an unforgivable fall. For years, Yoona had to deal with the love and idolization of millions of fans, but also the constant distrust of critics and even fellow professionals. Many saw her as a symbol of privilege, an artist who received golden opportunities while others had to struggle far harder for recognition. This perception created a permanent climate of pressure. It was as if Yoona was obliged to always live up to the flawless image she had been assigned. She couldn't make mistakes on stage. She couldn't be caught in a scandal. She couldn't show weakness. That kind of pressure comes with an enormous emotional cost. Reports from staff and colleagues describe Yoona as extremely disciplined, almost perfectionist. Nothing in her career seemed done casually or spontaneously. Every gesture, every smile, every interview was carefully thought out to maintain the character of perfect Yoona. And while this mask effectively kept her reputation spotless, it also distanced her from the authenticity many fans longed to see. Moreover, favoritism also brought criticisms that repeat to this day. On Korean forums, some say Yoona never had to prove herself because everything was handed to her. Others, even harsher, argue that her success is more SM's achievement than her own. This narrative became a constant burden. No matter how hard she worked, there were always those who attributed her achievements to favoritism rather than personal effort. Another side effect of this status was her relationship with fellow group members. Even though publicly they always showed unity, it's impossible to deny that the disparity of opportunities generated unfair comparisons. While Yoona accumulated commercials, lead roles, and national recognition, other members were confined to specific niches, like singing or musical theater. This difference created a permanent shadow. Any individual success within Girls' Generation was automatically compared to Yoona's level. The price of being the favorite, therefore, isn't just dealing with hate or criticism, it's living under an unattainable expectation. Yoona became the standard of perfection everyone expected to see, but no one could ever sustain forever without paying the cost. And even though she managed to turn much of that favoritism into a solid career, the question still echoes. To what extent is her trajectory the result of genuine merit? And to what extent is it the product of a system that chose who would shine and who would remain in the shadows? And now I want to know your opinion. Did Yoona reach the top through her own merit, or was she simply the chosen one from the start? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and let's debate this controversial story together. That's it for today. See you in the next video.